Hello again, everyone. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about how to read music. And what I mean by reading music is reading music from the staff and then applying that to the guitar. And there I am happily holding the guitar. And there you see that little swoopy sign, which is what we're going to learn how to use today and apply it to the guitar I'm holding. Oh, it's going to be fun. All right, so let's get some terms. First, we have the staff. When reading music, or also known as standard notation, it is written on its staff. Here we see the staff. It's 5 lines horizontally laid out. The space in the lines represent different letters in the musical alphabet, depending on the clef. So that's why there's only 5 lines. It's not because it represents one string for the guitar. Again, each line and space represents a letter. This makes more sense when we start talking about the clefs. And the clef that we'll be focusing on for the guitar is the G clef. The G clef means that the second line from the bottom represents G. If this is the case, then the lines end up being every guitarist begins doing fine if you go from the bottom up, or every good boy deserves fudge. Maybe you've heard that before if you've ever had a music class. This means that the spaces spell face. And you can see that there's this alternation. If you go from line to space, you have E is the line, F is the space. G is the line that we determined by using the G clef, is the space that follows. B is the line above the G line, C is the space that follows, and so forth. The clef we'll be using for the guitar has an 8 underneath it. And this means that the note that sounds on the guitar is an octave lower than that same note as you would play on the piano, for example. Some guitar repertoire does not have that 8 underneath, but that's just because it's assumed we all know it sounds an octave lower than written. Okay, let's apply this now to the staff and the notes that we play on the guitar. As mentioned earlier, the spaces and lines follow the musical alphabet. The musical alphabet again is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it just repeats A, B, C, D, E, F, G. One line is a letter, and then one space is a letter, then one line, one space, as mentioned before. So, starting from G, which we determined from the G clef, which is the G string, the 3rd string on the guitar, you can name all the notes on the guitar up to the 12th fret. And we see this here. We have after the G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And then to the left of it, it goes backwards. F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. If you turn to page 8 of your classical guitar method by Bradford Werner, you will see the same diagram. Take a moment to write that 3 in a circle symbol, which is the symbol for the guitar strings. A number in a circle is always the string number. And write that below the correct G note on page 8. So as you move to the left of the staff, you may notice those little lines. You can also see them to the right of the staff. Those are called ledger lines. These ledger lines are used to show the notes for the 5th and 6th strings. Ledger lines are just extensions of the staff, either below the staff or, as I mentioned, above the staff. The musical alphabet just continues as it did for the staff, where if the note is on a line, that means it's different than the note below the line. We can see that C is the first ledger line below the staff, and then B is below that first ledger line, and so forth. All right, so now let's write out the rest of the string numbers in relation to the staff in the notes. To the very left, you can see the E string. So take a moment on page 8 and put in 6 underneath. The A to the right of the E string, 6, is the A string. So write a 5 underneath this letter and note. And again, be sure to circle that 5 so we know you're referring to the string number. The next note we have is the D to the right of the A string, and this is the D string. Write a 4 in a circle underneath this D to show that it's the 4th string on page 8 of your classical guitar method. All right, since we've done the 3rd string, let's go to the right of that to find B. This is the B string. So write the string symbol underneath it, the 2 in the circle. Last but not least, we have the E to the right of the B string is the E string. So put a 1 underneath that, and now we've covered all 6 open strings. All right, so now that you've got an idea of the notes that you'll have to work with, let's start reading some music. Tune in to the next video to see how it works.